Hey, welcome. So I am Dave Fisher, and I am here to teach you about Angular with Firebase. So this course is obviously a web app development course. We're going to be learning about some of the more cutting edge frameworks with Angular and Firebase. The web has been around for a long time. There's been all kinds of frameworks that have been used. The one that I've used a lot in the past is App Engine. Been really happy with it. But obviously, there's been things like Ruby on Rails and helper frameworks like jQuery and countless others, right? But this class is really all about kind of like learning some of the new things. And to be honest, the motivation isn't that the new things are just amazingly better and are just going to make all other things you've learned pointless. Really, it's about accepting that things are going to always be changing, things are going to always be evolving, and just really getting good at learning new frameworks and seeing what's there and just being able to tackle different things. So I kind of wanted to start things off with a question, right? So what are your thoughts on this sentence? If you're not using Angular with Firebase, for your web app development, you're doing it wrong. So take a minute and just kind of collect your thoughts on what you think about with that sentence. So kind of for me, this is where a discussion in a classroom is nice. You get people's opinion on things. So the first thing I'll say is that there is a little bit of information, evidence behind it, because these really are the new exciting frameworks, and they do things better. People that are making these have learned from the years past. There are some really talented people that are putting these things together, and they're helping to make your life easier. They're helping to make it possible for you to create new opportunities. Stand on the shoulders of what they're doing. And then present something new. It's a good business opportunity. It's a great way to make the world a better place, things like that. But the reality is that companies have a lot of legacy code, right? It's even smaller projects the website you're watching this video on, the robotics.org. It was made with App Engine, and there's just no way of changing all old code to be the newest framework. So that's not really a reality. So if you're not using these frameworks, it's probably because you're working with a lot of legacy code and you don't have the ability to change. But if you are doing something new, these frameworks are really great ways to go. And if I was building a new web app and I wanted to just create some new project, these are the frameworks and tools that I use. So let's talk a little bit about this course, some things that we're going to do in this course. So here's just kind of some examples. You can go on the slides and you can see what some of these things are. So this is favorite things. So this is one of the ones we'll do in the early going. It's really just all about saving things to a database and then also reading it back down. Obviously, we have to start with pretty simple things. One of the things that I do like about Firebase is here I've got two different windows open, and you can see that if I change the color in one, the other will just automatically change. Little delay there because it wasn't my front window, right? But if I take the number up, you can see that the number over here will update as well. And there it is again, a little delay on the 21 there. It's supposed to show you a really impressive first demo. There we go, just things really rapidly changing. Now it's going fine, but it took a little while for it to kick in. So one of the things that I really like about Firebase is that it is a synchronous database. So tools that we've used in the past have used RESTful APIs. So that means you do a GET request and you get information. And then if you want to change something, you do a POST request, and then you'll get the update of the POST request. But if you're just sitting with a stagnant page, this is just a stagnant page over here, and somebody else changes something, you would never know about it with the traditional tools. And this is something that Firebase has brought to the table. And it's just really kind of made a big impact on the types of ideas that you can create very easily. There's a ton of these different apps. I don't need to show you all of them. This is a lab that you're going to do. So this is called Photo Bucket. So you can add photos with an existing URL, or you can just upload a photo, and then it'll get added. So here I'm just going to add, this is Dave Fisher, and we'll save. Some of the look you can see in this app is it's using a web framework called Angular Material 2. So we get kind of a certain look on these things. I'll say Dr. David Fisher. And, there's just a lot of different things that we can do with these tools that is a lot of fun. And things like image upload, that's something Firebase does well. The display of this page, that's something that Angular Material does well. The layout is Angular Flex layout. Lots of neat things to learn about. You can click on some more of these links if you want, but I think I'm going to let it go there. You'll know these apps really well once you actually work them. You can see some of the goals for this course. You should be able to explain what these frameworks are, how they work together to make web apps. You're going to be making some of your own projects with these web apps. And then the other skills that I'd like for you to learn is more of the reflection on what you've learned, of how do you go about learning new frameworks? Are you good at learning the next framework that's going to come down the pipe? The reality is that the people that are really good at learning the next framework are the people that have learned a lot of frameworks already, and that's how I want you to be. And I want you to be able to communicate that with potential employers, right? So, a lot of people are looking to get jobs in these fields, and being able to talk about what you can do is a really important thing. And then the bottom one is just kind of accept that change is the new norm. So things will always be changing and evolving. That's been true for a long time, but just kind of accept that that's how it's going to go. So the course format, there's going to be a lot of follow-alongs. That's where I'm just kind of teaching you some technical skills. Follow-alongs, you only learn so much, though. It's not until you really apply it in a lab that you really start to learn some of these skills for yourself. And then that next step is, can you apply it to your own ideas, which is what the project is all about. When it comes to projects, you can see projects on the Rolls-Holman Project Vault page. So if you go over to the Rolls-Holman Project Vault page, this link took you to the Find page, which is a Find page to go to, I guess. If you're not signed in, you should sign in. You need a Rolls-Holman login to actually sign in. But then anybody can view the projects from the course. Here's one of the last offerings of the course, Web App Frameworks with Firebase and Angular. You can see some of the different apps that people made in this course. You can click on their links and you can go see some of the things they did. So for each one, you can see that there's a website that you can go to. So this is RH Groceries. So this is an app that a team made. You can see that they've got things like logging in with your Rolls-Holman credentials. They would let you make shopping lists and then let other people buy it for you, which was cool. They also integrated payment, which was a neat thing. And you can watch their video and learn more about what they did. But there's just really a lot of neat apps, and you can see some of the ideas that people chose to tackle. And you can actually go visit their pages. So this is theresearchhub.org, right? So it's about doing research for papers. So some really great ideas on projects, and we'll talk more about the project as we continue. But the goal is for you to create a web app in a team of 2 that adds value and uses these tools that we're going to show you in the class. Speaking of the tools we'll show you in the class, that website, the Rolls-Holman Project Vault, it was actually made all with Angular and Firebase. It was done with Visual Code Studio. Things you'll notice about that page is that as it navigates around, as it goes home and things, you'll notice that there's no full page refreshes, right? It's the Chrome browser never has a page refresh. And so you can click on links here. And no matter where you go to, there's no page refreshes. So that's kind of a neat thing. And also, if I opened up 2 of these tabs, just like we did with the favorite things, they would load in both tabs. So the course format, there's going to be follow-alongs. You're going to submit those. You're going to always just be submitting a URL to your work. There's going to be labs. There's going to be exams. There's going to be a project. Breakdown of grades. When I do this face-to-face, I put points towards attendance. Since you're somewhere online, there is no attendance, so I just redistributed those points in other places. And so that's kind of the overview here. The way the course is going to work is you're going to watch a lot of these videos on roserobotics.org, and then you're going to be working the follow-along, submitting your URL, working the lab, submitting your URL, even working the exams and submitting your URL. And so that's what you're going to be doing, and hopefully you get really good at using Angular and really good at using Firebase. All right, come back next time and we'll help you get your tools installed. See you then.